Morning. I'm offering my perspective on last night's episode of Panorama, focusing on the Louise Newson Clinic. It was disappointing to watch, not least because of the way that, in my view, it was edited and presented, which I think has created a panic and a fear amongst women, particularly some with my clients. People are contacting me worried about the content that they've seen, and I don't think that that is a helpful message. If you are currently taking HRT and you have concerns about your dose, then you need to speak to the healthcare professional that you are working with, whether that is directly with the Newson Clinic, if that's your clinic, or an alternative private clinic, or with your GP. Any concerns, you definitely need to get in touch with them and just talk over where you're at now and the decisions that have been made specifically for you, just to check that your concerns are addressed and that you are happy with where you're at. I think that the overall message that came across that was worrying and that would provoke fear, as I've said, it is unhelpful. And actually, the risk of not taking HRT for many women is great. It's important that HRT is considered as part of an approach to healthcare for women who are experiencing perimenopause or are menopausal. And it's an area of information and knowledge that we are only just seeing this movement towards. And it's an important, really important movement. And it's a very, very positive one. And I don't like to see things that get published that may slow that movement down, because I feel very strongly that women need to be empowered with information, which Panorama did say, but their words and their editing and their documentary, in my view, didn't completely align. So it is important that women are informed in the choices that they make. And episodes that provoke fear are disempowering because they make everybody want to take a step back or slow down or make a sudden decision or reaction that actually in the long term may or may not be the right one. I think it's important to note that there is a lack of evidence and research when it comes to HRT, particularly prescribing the higher levels of estrogen, and that's what we really need to address, is where is the evidence and the research, where is the licensing. And it's really important to understand that where there's no evidence, that doesn't automatically mean that something is bad or wrong. It means there's no evidence. So that's context, I think, that was missing from the episode. The context that was also missing is that as part of this movement of more and more women seeking advice and help regarding HRT, you are going to see more and more cases that are complicated, that don't sort of fit the normal way of doing things. You are going to see more complications, you are going to see more issues, the more people that start to use HRT. Those two things are going to happen. It's not realistic to expect there to be zero complications when thousands and thousands and thousands more people start to use something or to experiment with something. So that kind of context of where statistics and numbers lie, that wasn't there with Panorama. And I don't mean lie as in not tell the truth. I mean where they sit, the context within which we're talking. So I think that, yes, individual clinical cases, and when things go wrong, absolutely, those things need to be investigated and looked at properly. But the overall message about HRT and the doses of HRT and the variability of that, we need to keep that positive, not negative. We need to be presenting information that is informative and that does look at all perspectives and all angles, and we need to present that in a way that is fair, and that isn't there to grab views and watches or to instill fear. And that's why I'm disappointed with that episode and the message that came from that. So, as I say, if you've got individual concerns, then you need to speak to your healthcare provider, and please do that before making any sudden decisions.